Are you wondering if you should wear sneakers or loafers? Which one is better for style? Which one is better for comfort? Well, hopefully tonight I can answer that question for you. My name is Raheem Jones, and welcome to the Pick Corner, where we talk about fragrance, fashion, and tech. And tonight's video is going to be about fashion. We're going to talk about some loafers. I got some sneakers here that I've ordered that I want to review for you. But before we get started, I invite you to like, subscribe, tap the notification bell, and follow us on this journey. And also, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok, the Pick Corner, as well. So tonight's video, again, we're going to talk about loafers. We're going to talk about sneakers. In particular, we're going to talk about white sneakers, plain white sneakers. They're the Swiss Army knife of your fashion arsenal. You can style them in any different way. You can dress them up, dress them down. You can wear them with chinos, jeans. There's just so many different ways that you can style them. But also a very, very nice alternative to sneakers is loafers. So I got a couple pairs of loafers that I've recently purchased that I want to share with you guys. And also tonight I got a little surprise. I did a little bit of a, I don't want to say a splurge because it wasn't that much money. But I think in our last video we reviewed Camera, which is a very inexpensive fragrance that smells like Killian's Angel. Well, I got Camera from Camera, and here's the box right here. This is a flanker to that particular scent. So the unboxing experience is the same. You got the box, got the beautiful bottle, got everything right here. And we have the actual scent itself right here. So here's the bottle, beautiful bottle. So this particular scent, this is going to have, let's just break it down real quick. In the top, you're going to have cinnamon, cardamom, and ginger. You got a praline, candied fruit, and white flower, which is going to give you like this rich, this sweet and kind of floral kind of feel. And in the base, you got coffee, vanilla, tonka bean, my favorite, benzoin, and you got musk. So it's going to give you a very warm and gourmand kind of feel. This one's a little boozier than the original that we reviewed, but jeez, it doesn't make sense for a scent to smell this good and to be that cheap. Like, it's $26 on Amazon. This is going to give you just warmth. It's warm, it's boozy. It's a gourmand fragrance because you got the vanilla, you got the tonka bean, so it's going to have that foodie kind of feel to it. It is fireside moments. It's holiday parties, it's festivities, it's fall, it's winter, it's date night. It's very warm. You can wear this with like an outfit like I have one today, like, nice, nice vest, nice fedora. Throw it on with some nice trousers, nice pair of loafers. You could, dress it up with some Chelsea boots, maybe a nice turtleneck, wool scarf, blazer. I'm thinking like a camel overcoat. Just think fall and winter with this fragrance. That's the ideal time that you're going to want to wear these types of fragrances. And again, date night. Date night is ideal for this kind of fragrance as well. So if you don't want to wait until the fall and the winter time to wear it, you could definitely go ahead and wear it for your date nights. And I recommend it. Cheap, smells great, and if you're just getting started out on your fragrance journey, these are the kind of fragrances you want to buy. You want to get things that's inexpensive, that you can have in your arsenal, that you can grab, that you can wear, that smells great, and you don't spend, a gazillion dollars for it. And then you can start to add a couple more bottles in the future and get your collection up. I always say it's great to have about, 5 to 7, fragrances if you can, just so that way you can rotate and have different things that you can wear for different occasions, different times, and just have a little bit of versatility. But again, this is Camera Kawa. Beautiful bottle right here. So transitioning over, let's start with white sneakers. So there's a couple of sneakers that I've recently purchased that I wanted to kind of show you guys tonight. And again, white sneakers are the Swiss Army knife of fashion for men, right? Especially when you're older. You know, I'm in my mid 40s. We don't really wear the Jordans and the really flashy sort of sneakers anymore. You know, we're more about minimalism, simplicity, and things that are not overly flashy, right? But still, you want something that is of high quality. And so with that, I always recommend getting a plain white leather sneaker and have that in your arsenal, because you can put that on with a suit, like I said before. You can put that on with some chinos. You can really just wear it with so many different things, and it will elevate the outfit that you're wearing. So with that, I got a couple of pairs here that I want to show you. Start off with these. I just got these a couple of weeks ago. Pretty sure everybody's familiar with this company. It's called Thursday Boot Company. They're known for their boots, but they also make some awesome white sneakers. And here are the sneakers here. Got some beautiful white leather. Great sole. Again, minimalist design. You got the waxed laces. So waxed laces is going to give you, especially with leather sneakers, a very elevated kind of look and feel. It's not just wearing, you know, a pair of white Vans, for example, which, nothing against Vans. I love white Vans. I buy 2 or 3 pairs every summer season, just to wear them to the beach or wear them to the winery and different things. I love the silhouette of it, but it's something about a leather white sneaker that is just, it just really elevates your look. With this, you got the inside has like sort of like a tan kind of leather on the inside. Beautiful stitching all around. Great sole. The leather quality is it's really nice. I believe price wise, I'm gonna have to just list the link for you. I don't remember the price. I know it wasn't anything crazy. It was like $100 something bucks, maybe about 124, I want to say, somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe 125. I don't remember. I remember it just wasn't anything crazy. Because with some of these minimal sneakers, you can get up there in price. You can spend, you know, $300, $400 dollars, especially if they're handmade sneakers. But with these, Thursday is a great company. I see in the back the only little bit of a logo that they have is just their name on the back heel back here, which doesn't really bother me much because it really blends in to the sole. So again, when you talk about being older, you talk about fashion and wanting to elevate your overall look, and you're wearing these types of sneakers, you know, you don't want logos, you don't want Gucci or Coach or any of the flashy, you know, logos. And again, you know, fashion is very subjective. If that's your thing and you want to wear it and you feel good in it, you know, by all means, knock yourself out. This is just my opinion. But a beautiful minimal white leather sneaker, you just really can't beat it. In terms of comfort, the inside, it has a great cushion on the inside, so wearing them, they feel very comfortable. The leather is not overly rigid, so there's no real like break-in period that's necessary for these. So you can just kind of wear them and you're ready to go. You got some pretty good comfort with them. Over time, I would imagine that some of the leather is going to probably get a little bit of character. I imagine there's going to be a little bit of creasing right here. But that's just the nature of leather, right, when you wear it. And the back, I've heard people complain about the back irritating the back of their heel. I haven't had or experienced that issue with these. It seems to be, you know, again, for me, a relatively comfortable shoe, comfortable fit. This is true to size. So I wear a 13 normally. And so I ordered a 13 for these. They fit absolutely perfect. They weren't too tight. And again, no break-in needed for these. But again, Thursday. And also, what's really nice about the Thursday is they come with this little bag, so you can store your sneakers inside the bag. And usually with leather sneakers, you kind of want that, right? You want to be able to take them and be able to kind of throw them in here and store them. And I tend to keep the box as well, so I'll store them inside the box. But if you don't want to keep the box, at least you got a nice bag that you can keep them in, sort of a, you know, like a nice dust cover. But again, that's Thursday, and that is the Premier Low Top sneaker from Thursday. Oh, one other thing I want to also call out with this particular sneaker. Just going to show you this real fast. This kind of came to my mind. You can buy the Premier, and you may not be able to see this on camera, but this has like the metal loops for the laces, which is a really, really nice touch. You can also order these without the metal loops for the laces. I kind of prefer the metal loops just to give it something a little different, a little bit of just a little extra oomph with that. But I love how that little detail looks. So again, you can order it with it, without it. That's the Thursday Premier Low Top. These sneakers, I ordered these about a month ago, and I just got them. These sneakers were handcrafted in Colombia. They're a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful leather sneaker. I'm just going to kind of show you this. It's called Beckett Simonon. So you get it in this beautiful box here. Beckett Simonon. Open it up. I already took the sneaker out, but I'm going to kind of show you everything they give you first. They give you some additional padded soles, or rather, not soles, but rather insoles for the inside of your shoes. Additionally, they give you an extra pair of laces if you don't prefer the wax ones and you want some traditional laces. They give you those, and they give you individual dust covers for your sneaker. So you put each sneaker inside of a dust cover, which is a really, really nice touch. Also inside you get this little envelope with actually a handwritten note. I didn't even read this. I was so excited for the sneakers that I didn't even really indulge in the unboxing experience. But you get a letter from Oscar, who's the head of production. And they take great pride in the fact that these shoes are handcrafted. They're built to order. Focus is quality. They're very meticulous about the production process. Hence why it takes so long for your order to be completed, because you know they don't build these in massive quantities. They build them as you order. So once you put your order in, then you go through, you know, there's a whole process where they kind of walk you through where your sneakers are at during, you know, production. If it's being built, if it's going through the quality review, different things like that, and it lets you know who's building them. But this is the sneaker here. Absolutely beautiful silhouette. Again, a very plain white sneaker from Beckett Simonon. This sneaker here doesn't have the metal loops like the Thursday, but beautiful wax laces, beautiful sole. You can see the stitching around here where the sole is stitched onto the upper. Beautiful, beautiful leather. This leather now, it's a lot more rigid. It's not as soft as the Thursday, so it's going to kind of feel like a leather shoe. It's going to require you to wear them, to break them in, to get the leather to sort of mold to the shape of your foot, and then with that level of comfort is going to build up. I have another pair of these. It's actually all black on the top here with the white sole. And that was the same case. I had to just wear them over time, and as I wore them, they got more and more comfortable. But this particular version, it seems like the shoe's a little bit wider than the original ones that I purchased. Like the ones I purchased, they were more of a narrower sneaker. But this one's a lot wider, which I like. Definitely happy about that because I felt like it was a little too narrow before. So it looked like they fixed that. Again, you get that beautiful sole on the inside. Everything is just leather, soft touch on the inside, wax laces. You could dress this thing up, dress it down, like what I'm wearing right now, for example. You can throw this on with something like this. Crisp white button up and white sneakers. You can never go wrong. It doesn't even matter what kind of pants you're wearing. Jeans, chinos, chino shorts, linen. You could throw on anything with these and you're going to look great. You're going to look very put together. Everything looks intentional. One important thing as well, when you talk about wearing leather sneakers, you have to keep them clean. I know there's some companies out there that actually have the more, I guess you could say, worn out sort of look, and that's like the intentional look of the sneaker, right? It's to look like it's beat up and it's dirty. But to pull that off, you have to really, really have the rest of your stuff together, right? Like it has to really, really be intentional. But generally speaking, you want your sneakers, you want your clothes, you want everything to be very, very put together. And this is something that can kind of just tie it all together and give you that missing piece. Beckett Simonon. These sneakers, they retail for $179, I believe. $179. I caught a great deal on them this go round. I know every so often what they'll do is they'll do a sale where you can get them for like $125. You can get 2 pairs for like 200 something. I caught that deal, which is excellent. Otherwise, I would have been paying the the full price. But even for the $179, when you talk about the quality, the craftsmanship, and just the overall end product, the look and the feel of these things, like it's worth every single dime. And again, there's other sneakers out there that cost $200, $300 that could be really, really expensive. And don't get me wrong, those sneakers, they're great quality. This is a little bit less, but still high in quality. I recommend Beckett Simonon. And these are the Reed sneakers, by the way, for the model. They're the Reed. So loafers can give you a different sort of look and feel. Just like as versatile as your white sneakers are, your loafers are as well, and it's going to give you a little bit more of a polished, elevated look, right? So loafers, when you talk about different outfits and different things, throwing on a pair of loafers will just add that little extra, even more than a white sneaker, right? It's going to add that little extra something that's going to give you that pizzazz to say, okay, that guy, he's put together. He actually has his stuff together. And for older gentlemen like us, mid 40s and 50s and 60s, throwing on a pair of loafers just kind of gives you a level of maturity, gives a mature look, shows that you kind of have your stuff together, even if you don't, but you look like you do, at least. And you can just be intentional about it. You can style it with jeans, chinos, all the things that I listed before, chino shorts. I mean, there's just so many different looks and varieties that you can really, really pull with these loafers. But let's just kind of jump into a couple pairs that I have here that I purchased recently. The first ones, these are the most comfortable loafers I've ever worn. These are the Rockports. Rockports are pretty known, so to speak. But these are the Rockports here. Chocolate brown leather loafer. It has a sort of like a rubber bottom with a lot of grip. So wearing these from the gate, these are very has a lot of grip. They're very comfortable. This is their classic penny loafer. Inside has a lot of cushion. The leather is not overly rigid, so it's very soft. So wearing these, again, it's just like throwing on a pair of of Vans loafers, like the Vans sneakers that you just slip on. It feels just like that. It's extremely comfortable. There was no break-in necessary with these. The leather is really, really soft. This is a true size. I ordered a size 13 for these, and they fit really, really well. There's no slippage of the heel. The heel holds really, really tight. Beautiful, beautiful chocolate color. Like I said, that chocolate is very, very rich. And again, I love the stylies with jeans especially. Jeans cuffed up, looks really, really great with these. Beautiful stitching around the toe here. Got the classic, point here for the penny. The top kind of sits up, but doesn't sit too far in like the Venetian loafers do. So again, you got that classic penny silhouette, but you got a lot of practicality again with the rubber sole, and the fact that it's very flexible and doesn't really require a lot of break-in. But these are very, very, very beautiful loafer. I think they were only about $100 something for these loafers. I think I bought them on Amazon. Initially, I ordered them at DSW. I will never order another pair of sneakers or shoes from DSW ever again. It seemed like their delivery takes forever. Like it took them a week just to process the order, and then it took another week for the actual shoes to arrive. By that time, I just ended up going on Amazon and just buying them from there, and I got them like the next day, which is always convenient. But again, these are the classic classic penny loafers from Rockport. Now, these next loafers I want to show you, classic loafer. These are the G.H. Bass loafers. They were established in 1876, so these were like the original like penny loafers. These are I want to say these are the Logans. Let me take a look at the box real quick just to make sure that I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, these are the Logan loafers, but here they are right here. I just got these yesterday, by the way. Beautiful cognac color. Bottom, it's a classic penny loafer feel, so the bottom is made from leather. Got the stitching in the top here. Classic leather for the bottom. When you have like a classic pair of penny loafers, when you walk around and you got to be careful of where you're walking because they're not broken in yet, so you're like kind of sliding all over the place. I found myself doing that a couple of times. But what's interesting though is that the heel actually has a little bit of what kind of feels like rubber. It has like a sort of like a rubber heel. So you do get some grip with the back of the heel, but the bottom sole is leather. Beautiful, beautiful cognac color. So it's not quite like the same as the chocolate. It may be hard to tell on camera, but the cognac color just has this richness to it, and then again it has the classic silhouette for the loafer. You got this just beautiful, beautiful detail on the toe, penny right here. These loafers are very, very stiff. These are classic loafers. You gotta break them in. You put them on, you have to wear them. They're going to, I'm not gonna say they're gonna hurt, but they're gonna feel tight in certain areas. Like my feet actually did not hurt wearing these. I ordered my true size, which is a 13, and for these, it just happened to fit perfect. For some people with loafers, sometimes you have to go down a half a size. I know with the G.H. Bass, after a size 12, they tend to jump up whole sizes. So you got 12, 13, and 14. You don't really have half sizes. But when you talk about the fit of a loafer, you want to definitely make sure that when you're wearing your loafers, you have at least enough length, because you can never change the length of a loafer. You can always change the width. You can stretch them out, right? You can make them, a little wider. They can fill and fit better from the width perspective. But when you talk about your heel staying inside of the loafer and also having enough room in the toe box. You want to make sure that you have the proper length. So again, if it feels like it's too much length, go for, you know, a size down, and that should give you that perfect ideal fit. But with these, what I've noticed is there's a little bit of heel slippage. Not a lot to where I feel like the loafer is going to come off, but just enough, and that's normal, right? When you're wearing, you know, brand new loafers that's really, really stiff, you got to break them in. And as they break in, you're going to notice that the heel is going to kind of conform and it's going to get tighter. But you should be able to slip them on, slip them off without a problem. Always use your shoehorn, pop it in, so that way you don't really mess up the back of these, because you want this to kind of keep its shape in order to, you know, catch the back of your heel. But again, GH Bass, these are beautiful loafers. In terms of comfort, they're not as comfortable as the Rockport, so we're just going to get that out the way, right? And again, you know, there's a breaking in period that's needed and different things, but they're comfortable enough, right? They're a loafer. You can always get insoles if you want a little bit more cushion for the insides. Like the Rockports, it's just, you know, you definitely feel the cushion in these, but you do get some level of cushion inside of the Weejuns for these shoes, especially towards the back. Not so much for the toe box. The toe box, you know, it is what it is. But if you need a little extra padding, you can always get that. But I find the shoes to be comfortable. I wore them all day today. Wore them. We went out for a little happy hour, and you know, walking up the stairs, down the stairs, walking all around, walking to the car, walking, you know, just different places, and they feel great. They feel absolutely great. GH Bass Weejuns, another loafer I highly recommend that you get into your arsenal. So that is all that I have for you for this evening. We had a great scent, some sneakers, some loafers. You know, we cover fragrance, fashion, and tech. And again, I invite you to like, subscribe, tap the notification bell, and stay locked in with us. I got some, you know, some more fedoras coming. We're going to get into the fall, so we're going to have some more wool ones that's going to come in. That's going to be really nice. I think there's a pork pie wool hat from Southern Gents that I'm eyeing. I might order those tonight. We got to see. But other than that, you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Until next time. See ya.